Hello everyone, it's Sean from TaekwondoSean.com, and today we're going to do a deep dive into Poomsae number 2. Check it out. So Poomsae number 2, Taeguek Ee Jang. We're going to split it up into 3 parts. First part, 6 motions. Second part, another 6 motions. And the third part, 6 motions for a total of 18 motions in Poomsae number 2. Now, Poomsae are like onions. They have layers. So what does that mean? It means that we also have to focus on pivoting at the right time. We have to focus on the lower body, the upper body. We have to focus on twisting at the last minute, adding our power at the last minute, being relaxed and then hard, setting and then executing. So much to cover. We're going to try and cover it all right now with Poomsae number 2. So step 1, let's look at the 3 parts. The first part is the first 6 motions of the Poomsae. Let's do it together. So the first 6 motions, we turn and we down block. We do a front stance and a punch to the solar plexus, 몸통 지르기. Then we turn, in, out the other side, down block, 아래 맞기. Step forward, front stance, 몸통 지르기. Now from here, we're gonna step forward, 앞서기, walking stance, right hand, middle block. Step forward again, left hand, middle block. And 바로. So that is the first 6 motions of the Poomsae. There's 18 in total. So now let's take a look at part 2. Alright, so after we perform our 2 middle blocks, we're going to turn left again, and as the beginning, down block, 아래 맞기. This time what we're going to do is we're going to practice a front kick. Step forward, front stance, and this time we're doing 얼굴 지르기. We're punching the 인중 right between your nose and your lips. From here we go to the other side, same thing, down block, front kick, front stance, and punch the face. From here, push forward, walking stance, 얼굴 맞기, high block. Step forward, 얼굴 맞기 again. So that was part 2. That was the second set of 6 motions. Now for the last set, here it is. So from here we performed our last high block. We're actually going to start our legs moving. So pre-turn this foot, here to the other side, and then right around here we start the middle block, 몸통 맞기. And then we turn, 몸통 맞기 on the other side. And then we're going to turn towards the back, down block, 아래 맞기. Then it's front kick, punch, front kick, punch, front kick, punch, and then 바로. Alright, so there we go. That's the 3 parts of Poomsae number 2. Now that we've got the 3 parts down, let's look at peeling back some of the layers of the Poomsae. Layer number 1, pivoting. Now we've covered this in other Poomsae before. What we want to remember is we're on the ball of our foot with the turning leg, and then pivot when we perform the upper body motion. And then we step forward, and then pivot at the time that we perform the upper body motion. Turn, feet together, out the other side, and pivot when we perform the upper body motion. Pivoting is an incredibly pivotal part of Poomsae number 2 and all Poomsae in Taekwondo, because when you guys pivot and sit your hips down, that's the perfect timing to transfer the power to the upper body through the kinetic chain from the ground to the fist to the target. Layer number 2, we're focusing on being relaxed and applying our power only at the end of the motion. So when I perform a down block, we've covered this before, I'm totally relaxed, and then at the very end of the motion, I go strong. At the very end of the middle block here, I'm totally relaxed, strong, strong. And then the high block, same thing, totally relaxed, strong, strong. This allows us to create speed, which in Taekwondo is how we generate power. It's not about how big your muscles are, it's about how fast your muscles are. In Taekwondo, speed is king or queen. Now that we've done that layer, layer number 3. Layer number 3 is twisting at the end. It goes hand in hand with applying your power at the end of the motion. So if you guys can apply your power at the end of the motion and at the same time twist, it creates that torque power that's going to make it even stronger. And layer number 5, it's all about setting and executing properly, because that's the beginning of everything. So let's practice the first motion with a set and an execution just to give you an idea. So I'm going to turn this foot on the balls of my heel. I haven't pivoted yet. Now what I'm going to do is, this is the set motion. Now when I pivot, that's the execution. At the same time, I'm going to set up my upper body too for the down block, and I'm going to relax, I'm going to twist at the end, I'm going to apply my power at the end, I'm going to pivot properly, and then I'm going to execute. So it should look like this. And then I'm gonna step forward, front stance, punch. I'm gonna practice stepping forward. I'm not pivoting yet. I'm gonna relax my upper body, set the upper body for the punch, and as I put my foot down to pivot, execute. And then again, I'm here, start. See the balls of my foot here. Start my upper body for the down block, and execute. Now, if you can do that for all 18 motions, then that means we're setting, executing, twisting, applying our power, using 2 hands. We have all the layers we need to make a great Poomsae. All right, so let's follow through now. Poomsae number 2. We're gonna go all 18 motions in a row, and we're gonna try and practice all the things we've covered so far in the video. Let's peel back all the layers, put the onion back together, and we're gonna see how Poomsae number 2 looks now. All right, follow along. So we start with the chaya stance, and then 준비. So set, use 2 hands for the down block, walking stance. Front stance, set the upper body, punch the solar plexus. Turn, pivot, and set. From here, step forward, punch. Now we're gonna turn, the balls of my feet are on the ground only. I haven't pivoted my back leg yet. I set the middle block and execute. Set the middle block, relax, execute. Now I'm gonna turn, only my left foot turns so far. I'm on the balls of my feet, totally relaxed, and down block. Now it's front kick, I bring my hands up like this. And as I come down on the balls of my feet, origuru jirigi. Now I'm gonna turn, down block, front kick, set, execute. Now from here, turn, set, execute, set, execute. Then I'm gonna turn, feet in, feet out, middle block. Turn, set, middle block. Turn, set, down block. Front kick, punch. Make sure you set, front kick, set, punch. Front kick, set, punch. Kia, and paro. All right, so we've gone through the layers, we've gone through the motions, we got the 3 parts. Now let's look at the most difficult parts for most of the students and most of the practitioners that we deal with at our Taekwondo dojang. So the hardest part, I think, in this Poomsae is the pivoting with the middle blocks. So let's look at it together. When we're doing the pivot here, I perform my final high block, origuru maki. Now I have to turn and perform a middle block from here. So it's almost a 270-degree turn to do a middle block. So a lot of students, what they do is they actually start the middle block too early, where the high block was, and then they spin it all the way around the world. That's no good. We only want our blocks to start at the most 180 degrees from where it finishes. So what does that mean? It means I perform my high block here. Now I'm gonna take my leg that's not bearing my weight, put it to where it has to go, start the pivot a little bit here, and then set the middle block 180 degrees from where it's gonna finish here, so on the other side of my body. And as I pivot my back foot, I'm gonna relax and then hard and execute. Then I'm gonna pivot again. Now one of the biggest mistakes here is kids just pivot on the balls of their feet. Wow, good job. But now they're walking on a tightrope, or it's even the opposite, walking stance. So what we wanna try to avoid that is as we do the pivot, we open it up slightly so that we're still shoulder width apart for this middle block, okay? So what it looks like is we perform the middle block here, and then open the middle block, perform the middle block here, and now it's more comfortable and you have balance, which practically speaking is what you need the most in a practical self-defense situation. Another difficult part is knowing where to punch with the face punch. I know for the kids at least, when they do their face punch, sometimes they punch it way up. We're not John Travolta, and it's not Saturday Night Fever, so we gotta make sure that we're punching the right spot. Everyone's punching their own injung, their own vital spot right here on the face, right below the nose, right above the lips. I think we call it the philtrum in English. When you're doing your punch, since you sink down a little bit, you wanna make sure you're punching your own philtrum. So using a mirror can be very useful for this. Can you see it's angled only slightly above my shoulders? So it's not a middle punch, it's not a shoulder punch, it's a face punch. Origuru jirigi. So we're just gonna look at the lower body now. We're doing Poomsae number 2 for our deep dive. Okay, so ready? Chumbi stance is 1 foot apart. Ready? Turn, pivot. Front stance, sit. Now in, and then out to the opposite side, and turn. Step forward, punch. Turn, set, execute. Walking stance, walking stance, walking stance. Kick and punch. In, out, pivot, front kick, front stance, punch. Good. pivot, pivot. Here comes the hardest part. From here, it's pre-turn, in, pivot, and then pivot, and then turn, and then kick and punch. Kick and punch. Kick and punch, and key up. And then make it smooth, borrow. So now let's look at the upper body for Poomsae number 2, Taeguek Ee Jang. 준비. Start below your belt, breathe in, up to your solar plexus, make your fists, and breathe out. Make sure your fists are about a fist length away from your belt and a fist length away from each other. First motion, down block. Set and execute. Punch, solar plexus. Next motion, same thing, down block, and punch solar plexus. Now I'm going to perform 2 middle blocks, so relax, hard, slightly above your shoulder here, and then pull it in, and again. Then the same as the beginning, down block on our left side. Then it's front kick, face punch. Punching the injung, the philtrum. Down block, front kick, and face punch. Now from here, turn, high block, 1. Make sure your wrist is straight, high block, 2. Make sure your wrist is straight, and then middle block with the same hand. Middle block with the other hand. And then we turn, left hand, down block. Then front kick, punch, solar plexus. Front kick, punch, solar plexus. Front kick, punch, solar plexus, and key up. Paro. Breathe in, and breathe out. Now what we're going to do is mirror mode. All right, so here we go. Left hand down block, right hand punch. Right arm down block, left hand punch. Then we're going to step forward, right arm middle block, left arm middle block. Then turn, left hand down block, front kick, right hand punch, the face. Good. Now right arm down block, front kick, left arm punch, the face. Now turn, high block, 1, high block 2. Then spin all the way around and middle block with the same hand, your right arm. Now middle block again. Then turn towards the back, down block with left arm, front kick, punch with right. Front kick, punch with left. Front kick, punch with right, key up. Breathe in and breathe out. And lastly, the most difficult part of this Poomsae is actually practicing it. I can't stress enough to all our practitioners here and all the practitioners on YouTube that the most important thing is doing the work, putting in the reps. Practice this Poomsae 100 times. Practice it backwards, practice it forward, practice it slow, practice it fast. There's a blog about this actually on my website, taekwondoshan.com. You gotta make sure you put in the work. So practice this Poomsae, put all those things together, and you guys are gonna be master in Poomsae number 2, Taeguek Ee Jang. All right, so train hard, and we'll see you guys on the mats. Right hand middle block.